Welcome, guys. This is part of our learning with our C, and this will be what you're expected to do as part of your project. So I'm going to walk you through the things that you need to do for your final project. So for a start, I select, let's just go through the basics again. We go to File, select New, we select Project. We select Console Application, click on Next. We select C, click on Next. We now need a title for our project. So let's say this project is called a class management system. Okay, that is what we want to call it, and we'll just work through what we can in this first part, because I don't want it to be a long project due to what we will need to add to our project. So I'll just pick points that we must have within our project. So the first thing is we want to be able to work with three principles, or the three main principles that we've got to create our project, which is we want to be able to add something, we want to be able to read or view something, we want to be able to delete it, we want to be able to close our program. So what this then means is, with what we have learned in the other lesson, we learned we can actually create functions, right? So the first function we can have is called menu, right? If you remember, we said this is also called a function prototype. Void, we then want to have some name for actually creating our value. So we can say create value is the first function. Void read or view, read view value, like that. We want void delete value. We also want void close program, like that. Those become our main functions that we want to work with, and we would need to have each of them interacting with the other so that we know what we are doing. And then in our main, we simply call our menu function, which is right there. So I'll just copy all of this and put it down there so that we create the parameters for each function, or rather we create the body for each function, like that, like that, like that, like that. Okay, so we can start with the close, which I think would be the easiest. At the same time, we can also create our variables. So we can put our comment like that to say the main functions, okay? And then there we can also say variables, okay? So we can start with the variable for close program, whereby we want to say int CL for close, and in our close program we say the following: printf. We want to be able to get the user to know what is happening. Are you sure you want to close program? Like that. Okay, if the person is sure, we then want to be able to have a scanf to get the content that we want to work with. So we then want to work with CL, which is a variable that we've put there. Make sure you put it as an L. I know it looks like a 1, but it's an L. Okay, are you sure you want to close the program? We have CL. So in this particular case, we want to use a switch case statement where we want to say CL gives us the following. Okay. So we want to be able to say case 1 break, case 2, and then we break, and then it defaults like that, where we say printf invalid choice selected. Okay, when this is done, we want to be able to say, when you've selected the wrong choice, we want you to go back to menu. So we want to call menu so that you go back to the menu. Okay, if we are to work with this, we can say this is yes. Okay, I put my comments. Yes, close program. And this becomes no, don't close program. Like that. So we then put the following. If we want to close program, we simply can use exit in brackets 1 so that we close the program. If we don't want to close program, we say we want to go back to menu. Like that, so that it actually takes us back to menu. So this will be the first function that would have actually worked with, which is our close program. Okay, so now we need to actually have these functions interact, because it stands, we can't actually see what is happening with our functions. So let's create a menu, or rather let's go to our menu and we create what we want our menu to do. Okay, so we want to be able to say printf open and close brackets. We want to be able to say please select menu item. Okay, and then with our menu item, we then have the menu options. So printf, we select 1, which is create new. We have the next one, printf this becomes read or view. We have a printf again, which then makes this 3 delete a value. Okay, and then the next one is printf for, which then gives us close program. Okay, right, from there let's actually use our scanf so that our scanf gets the content, %d ampersand CL. We'll just use CL since we had put CL before. And at the same time, we can also have a switch case statement where we switch the value for CL, and we do it as follows: CL and our CL will have case 1, case 2, case 3, and case 4. And then we have a default, and we have a printf, invalid choice selected, and then we want to return to menu, so we want to call a function by itself. And then here we have a break, we have another break, break, break. So at this particular point we want to call create value. At that point we want to call read, at that point we want to call delete, like that. So as it stands, based on what we would have done, this should be able to run. Let's actually just